All right. I think it will count us down. All right. Okay. And we're live. So I'm going to minimize my YouTube. And if there's anybody out there, let me know if you guys can hear us and if you can hear us good. Let me go to my, turn my volume down. Okay, I can see us. Tara said, sounds good. So hello, everyone. Verna, Skyfab, C. Thomas. Thank you, Susie. Okay, so someone said, let's test the other ladies. That's a great idea. All right, so Unika, testing. Can you hear me, Unika?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Oh, say testing.
Oh, testing.
Okay. Shauna.
Testing.
Jesse, go ahead.
Testing.
And Lauren.
Testing.
Okay, so you guys can hear everybody, right? Hey,
Yeah.
Saki. Venus, November. Okay, so thank you, ladies, so much for joining us tonight.
Testing.
Uh-oh.
All right. I put it on mute. My apologies. I thought if it was on silent that you wouldn't hear, so I brought it all the way down.
Oh, I thought that was me echoing. I was like, uh-oh. Okay, so ladies, so I have in the house with me tonight 4 amazing single ladies. And if you saw I think it might have been the last video that I've actually done. And I said in that video, because the ladies were giving me a hard time about talking to the guys. So they said, you should talk to the ladies. Ask the ladies how dating out here is working for them. Ask us how it's going. We out here in the trenches with these dudes and it's war. So I said, okay, if you guys want to talk about it, come on. We'll talk about it. So we're going to talk about it tonight. We have some pretty interesting topics to discuss tonight with the ladies. So you guys know I'm married, but I haven't been married that long. But what I keep hearing is, oh, it's different out here. It's hard out here. So I'm like, okay, well, let's figure out why it's so hard and what's so hard about it. So all right. So let's start by introducing the ladies, and you guys can tell a little bit about your situation. Like if you're currently dating, like how long you've been single, how long you've been dating, maybe, if you're interested in marriage or if you're past that part of your life. So Unika, we'll let you go first.
Good evening, ladies. My name is Unika Banks. I'm here out of Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm 37 years old. I have one son, age 19. I'm single. I have been single for, I'd say about a year now. And I am open to marriage, but I'm not necessarily feeling like I need to get married, if that makes any sense. My main thing is comfort and lifestyle. I personally will not have a child for anyone, so they really have to have all the kids that they want already. As far as money goes, I will not work if I get married. So I'm either going to be single and be happy, or I'm going to be provided for by my husband. And that's the only way it's going to be for me.
That's a good point to make, a good thing to mention. Yeah. So work is 100% out of the question when you get married. Yeah, that's a good thing to be sure about and to be open and honest about as well. Sabrina Williamson, thank you, Sabrina, and hello. So we go to Shaunna. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what's going on in your world these days.
All right, so I'm Shaunna. I'm also 37. I am in Cleveland, Ohio. I've been single for longer than I would like to admit. Probably like a smooth 5-ish years.
Really?
Yeah, I date, but I haven't been like in a committed relationship in about that long. I do not have any children. I want them. I definitely do want to be married. Definitely not giving up my careers, even with children. That's
no.
I like what I do too much. So yeah.
Okay. Cool. And we'll go to Jessie.
I'm Jessie. I'm 39. And marriage, I don't know. I've been thinking that I want to get married. It depends. Sometimes I say yes, I want to get married, and other times I say no. So as of right now, I'm not really looking to get married. I am dating though. Like I grew up in Houston and I live in Los Angeles. And dating is different from the South and living in Los Angeles. It's so different. But if I do get married, I will work because I have a very successful online boutique. And I also run a nonprofit organization. So not working is like off the table for me. I need to work. I need to get out every day and go interact with other humans. So I need to work. But like I said, marriage is, I don't know. Sometimes I say I want to get married, and other times I say no. But if I do get married, he has to match he has to be already established. Yeah.
You have a child.
I didn't hear you, Eva. What did you say?
You have a child, right?
I do. She's 12 years old.
Okay. And Lauren, we'll move to you.
My name is Lauren, and I'm from Washington, D.C., and I'm 44. I had to think about it. I'm 44, but I don't believe that I'm washed up. I don't buy into that. I live here in Chocolate City, so there's a lot of people. It's just hard to find somebody of substance, but they're out there. And so I've never been married. I don't have any children. But I was raised by a man. I was raised by my father. So I kind of have a different perspective, I believe, when it comes to men. But I still had a lot to learn. And so I did the research. And now I try to help other women to navigate the dating world.
Okay. And so Lauren, we're the same age. So Kelly Bird said it is absolutely war. It depends on your standards, though, to be honest. I have no kids. I have money, so I'm not motivated by that. Slim pickings for what I'm willing to be here in Atlanta, though. So let's talk about, so Jessie, you said it's harder in Los Angeles than it is down south per se, like in Atlanta. Is that because that's where you're from, right?
No, I grew up in Houston. I'm from Houston.
Okay. So why is it so different in California?
I know in California, it's like the men out here, especially in this area, they have a lot of money and they can pick and choose like whoever they want. And the women are willing to like do whatever because they want that lifestyle. So Like men, it's like free range for them out here. It's beautiful women. They can, fit women. They can choose. It's just crazy. I have some stories for you. It's crazy. So it's hard out here. But I do get out. I meet men, and I meet a lot of men. I go out. I date. So, but it's very difficult. It's a lot different than Houston. In Houston, like all of my friends are married, with kids, and it's very easy to find a husband in Houston.
Right.
Like someone that will commit. And they're not as successful as the men out here in Los Angeles, the men in Houston. They don't have as much money. So I don't know if that makes a difference, but it's out here in Los Angeles, it's rough.
And I think a little bit last, I don't know why I hear feedback. I keep getting an echo. You guys in the comments, let me know if you get the same feedback. We talked a little bit about it last night about what age range of guys you're dating in Los Angeles.
Right. So I'm 39. So my age range is from 35 till 50. I'll date up to 50 years old. Okay. And, they keep themselves up, so they don't really look 50. So
50 is not old though.
It's not old. It's not old. Don't come from me in the comments. 50 is not old, but I'm saying, even don't try to set me up. But no, 50 is not old. What I'm saying is, okay, so in Houston, a lot of the 50-year-olds, I'm not gonna even say that. You know what? They work out.
Don't say it. I want to hear it. Tell us.
No, they work out here in Los Angeles a lot. Like most of them are paid to look good, right? So they work out a lot out here and they keep themselves up. I'm not saying anything bad about a 50-year-old man living in Houston or anything like that. Because I told my family to watch and I don't want to hear all that, 50 years old is young. If you're 50, you're still young. So yeah.
Yeah, but no, honestly, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think maybe Houston, the guys are probably a lot more family oriented.
Right.
Now, let me ask you this. So, being in Los Angeles, where the women are working out, and
right,
I'm sure you probably feel like there's like tons of competition, and so do you try to stay? I don't want to say compete, but do you try to stay?
Right. I know what you're saying.
Up and up, yeah.
I'm pretty comfortable with myself, but I've always worked out. Like in college, I ran track. So I still go hiking. We have a lot of hiking trails out here. So I go hiking at least 4 times a week. And you can meet, if anyone knows, if any women in the comment section, if you're in Los Angeles, if you want to meet a man of means, like you can go hiking. They're all out there all the time. But yeah, to answer your question, Eva, I work out. I make sure I go get my facials and I try to keep my hair done and stuff like that. There is competition, but I don't see it as competing. I just see it as keeping myself up just to make myself
feel
right. Exactly. Yeah, but there is a lot of competition. There are beautiful women. So.
Now, Shauna, where are you?
I'm from Pittsburgh. I live in Cleveland.
Okay. And so what's the dating scene like in Cleveland?
No.
It's interesting to me. They're different. I don't like guys that are flashy, because I feel like people that have money don't wear their money. So to me, the guys here are flashy, and so it's a turnoff. I don't like it. So dating it's been rough because that seems to be the norm for the guys here. They're very flashy. I haven't met a lot of guys that are like professional that aren't in relationships. I like someone that is professional, but also has like a kind of like just like a tougher side. Like I like to feel protected. I
Right.
can't be with somebody that I feel like if something happens, I gotta like hold me down and you. Like I want to feel protected in a relationship. I haven't met that type of person, and everybody knows everybody here. So
Oh yeah.
if you talk to one person, now you're talking to that person's friend because everybody seems to know each other here. So it's too small.
Yeah. I could not imagine Cleveland having a lot of flashy folk running around. That's not what when I think of Cleveland, I think I envision like Drew Carey, isn't that what? Yeah, I would never imagine that. So have you ever thought about like leaving Cleveland?
I don't mind it here, but yeah, I've thought about leaving. I've been here for what, 5 years now, but it still doesn't feel like home to me. So yeah, I've definitely thought about leaving.
When you say flashy and like wear their money, do you mean like, are you talking about like designer clothes or driving
I don't like
flashy cars or?
like a lot of like labels, and I think you can look nice without wearing somebody's name across your chest.
Right. Yeah.
And
I mean, that's not really a man thing anyway. Like, unless you're like entertainment and that's the lifestyle anyway, most men that's not really their thing. They may have like a nice suit or a nice watch, maybe a nice car that they bring out. They have multiple cars, but they usually drive like a regular car. They may have a nice car that they will bring out maybe. But most men, professional men, businessmen making money, they don't care about, they want you to look nice. And for you to look nice, it doesn't have to be a label either. They just want you to look nice,
right.
Put together, nice dress, a nice pump, nice. But men, most that I know of, I don't know everybody, but that I know of, they don't do that type of stuff. I'd say you probably need to invest in a really nice gym if they have one in Cleveland. Equinox, if there is one there, a platinum lifetime membership if they have one there, whatever the best, because the best people, they go to the best places, and you could, they'll just be looking cute, and one will eventually, you go there enough, eventually someone will get their coverage up to say something like, hey, let's go downstairs to the cafe or something like that.
We're going to talk about that, where you meet guys. But okay. I think that these guys might be faking their
yes, that's not normal.
Yeah, I just don't know a lot of wealthy guys who are like walking around.
No, and maybe unless he hit the lottery and got wealthy last night.
But that's what I'm saying. People that actually have it don't wear it, so it is a facade.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. These dudes be out here faking. Faking. Okay, so first, let's start with our interracial dating topic. Okay, so for everybody who is currently out here dating, interracial dating, yes, no, maybe, I'm looking for it.
You're open to it, but
go ahead, Lauren.
I feel like we're open to it, but other races don't embrace us that way. That's just my experience.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, honey, no, that's not it.
I was gonna say
no, they want to date you because I'm open to it. I do it. I don't care. I'm for everybody. As long as you're gonna treat me good and give me what I want. Give me the respect. Give me court me, cater to me, put me on the prop. I want to be on a pedestal. I'm for it. And what I hear so many times is I've always been interested in Black women. I just didn't know how to approach. I didn't know if it was appropriate. I was nervous. I was scared. I didn't think you would be interested. So they want to date you. If they see you, they want to date you. They just don't know if it's appropriate or how you would react. And then probably if they're listening to Black males, they may be saying that Black women are hard to deal with, this, that, and other. They hear negative stuff. They're like, you know what? I'm probably not. Just leave it alone, But no, they want to date you. They do.
Yeah.
do.
Shockingly, they do want to date you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that they don't oftentimes find us approachable. So I think that's one thing. But yeah, I think they want to date us sometimes. Some of them do.
I definitely agree that they want to date us, and I agree with you, Eva, that they don't find us approachable. It's not my preference, but I've done it. And I would say that those have probably been some of my best dates.
Really? Now,
Yeah.
why nothing long term? Was it just
It always just kind of fizzled out, and it's probably been more me than them.
yeah? And what about you, Jesse?
Yes.
With the swirl?
Yes, I'm down with the swirl. I am down with the swirl. They approach me, I talk to them, I go out on dates. Caucasian men, they really, y'all would be surprised. They really love African American women. They love our skin tones, like they love the way we talk, our swag, like they love us. They really do. And they approach me all the time. Like I work for a nonprofit organization and I go to different events and they're always approaching. Nice, handsome, wealthy, like they love to, you know what I noticed? Like with the African American men, they like gift giving. If the Caucasian men, like they'll just get, they'll say, meet me at a store or something like that. But with African American men, some of them, not all, I'm just saying some of them, they'll call you like a gold digger or say that you're needy if they, want to get you a gift, or you say, oh, there's a person that I really like. Can you get that for me? They'll be like, they'll have a problem with it. But a Caucasian or a Latina man, like, they don't have a problem with that. They'll go and get you that bag, those shoes, whatever, that jewelry. They'll go get it for you. They don't mind. Like, the saying is not tricking. If they have it and they'll spend it. But African American men, they'll call you a gold digger. I've experienced that firsthand, like with dating outside my race. The Caucasian men, they give gifts and they give nice ones. So
yeah, I think that brothers that have money, that have money and they ain't just faking it. I think that they can be very generous as well.
They can be at a certain, like the younger ones, they'll have something to say about it sometimes. But the older African American men, like you said, if they have it, they'll give it. But the younger men, especially my age, like around or their mid-30s to like late 20s, mid-30s, they'll have a problem with it. But Caucasian men, even the younger ones, they don't have a problem with giving gifts. I receive gifts. They don't have a problem with it.
Now, during these interracial dating relationships, does marriage come up? Does the topic come up at all, or?
It has for me.
Has it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I was engaged to a Caucasian guy like 3 years ago. I didn't like his mom, so he was a mommy's boy, and I knew it wouldn't work out because no, I would want to wring her neck, she would want to wring mine, and it wouldn't have been good. I didn't want to make him miserable, but he was very nice, very handsome, very, very, yeah, he was really nice, but
yeah,
I couldn't deal with that mom. So,
and mine was the opposite. His mom didn't like me. Well, she didn't like the fact that he was dating a Black girl.
Yeah, that's always, that can always be an issue in situations like that. Yeah, definitely. Because people always say, like, you're not marrying someone's family, but you kind of are, Yeah, like, I don't want to have to avoid going to the family reunion because, my husband's family doesn't like me, So, yeah. I imagine that that's oftentimes an issue. I think that was the reason why I never saw myself doing that. I actually dated a guy of another nationality that I really liked, but there was just too much cultural difference between the two of us, So, yeah. And sometimes it was petty stuff like my hair and, I was like, yeah, no, I need to marry someone whose mom used to stand in the kitchen with the pressing comb and press his sister's hair. I don't want to have to explain this stuff
Right.
to anybody. Yeah. So last night we talked a little bit about vetting. And Lauren, I want you to talk about your vetting process.
I started vetting to avoid wasting my time, assuming somebody was on the same page as me, just because we're starting to spend more and more time together. I think when people meet, they fall into a pattern where, it's maybe 1 day a week, then it's 2 days, 3 days. Next thing you know, it's every day. You kind of gradually fall into this relationship, but nobody's asking any questions like, well, what's your future dreams? Do you want to get married? Do you want to have kids? Where do you want to live? Like all those type of things. And then they get involved, they fall in love, they start building together, and then over time, these things come up. And then sometimes there's a deal breaker, then you have to break up, then you're sad. Like, why go through all of that? That's exhausting. Doesn't that sound exhausting? So I started asking men certain questions in the beginning, like, look, I don't date casually. I'm looking to get married. So I'm looking to see if we're compatible. I'm not trying to fit a peg into a round hole or a square peg into a round hole. If it don't work and we're not compatible, I can move on. But I'm not just going to casually date and have you waste my time and assume that's what you want to.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you this, like, when do you start vetting? Like, is it when y'all go to Starbucks the very first time, or do you wait?
Well, I have some ground rules, like you have to have your own place, your own car, and a job for us to even exchange phone numbers, or to have a conversation. And so if you have those three things, okay, I look at, all right, what's below the surface, not just a cute face or a nice body, because usually those are the worst ones, right? And so I started looking beneath the surface. I mean, I still want something good to look at, but
Right.
perfect. And so I started looking below the surface. Like, does he go to church? Does he believe in God? For me, him at least wanting to have a spiritual relationship means he's going to be held accountable to God, not just to me. I found that men who are a little bit spiritual or have some substance. But it's hard here in DC to find men. There's men everywhere, but most of them are superficial, and the women too. And so it's hard to find somebody to take you seriously, because at first they think, okay, what does she want from me? They automatically think you're trying to get something from them. You just want to build a friendship, a foundation.
Right. And so I was talking about when I was watching your video and you were talking about like asking him what his credit score was and things like that. Do guys tell you that? I asked my husband, I said, what if when we went out on a date, I would have asked you what your credit score was? Would you have told me? And he said, no.
Not on the date, but I have a way with men where I've learned to finesse them. And you do it like we might be cuddled up on the couch and just finances might come up. And I do it in a gentle way where I'm not accusing him or judging him, where I'm just trying to help him. It's one of those conversations like, oh, you want to buy a house? Okay, well, what's your credit look like? Maybe I can help you with that. I had to clean up my own credit when I bought a home, and then I put my own story out there to say, I too had bad credit, but I fixed it. Let me help. I can help you fix yours. So I do it that way instead of like judging him like, oh, you got bad credit. Like, no.
Yeah. Now, what if he said it's 320?
Well, if he got his own home, it can't be too bad, right? Most people with a home and a car and a job, your credit.
No, she said a house. She didn't say a home. That means he could be renting.
No.
Right.
He could be renting in a cardboard box over on the bridge.
What? It depends on what else he has to bring to the table. I look at everything. Like, does he have does he pay child support somewhere else? Is he bringing all his income home? I consider all that. And is he willing to get a second job? Is he, what is he willing to do?
Right. Is child support a deal breaker for anybody in here? How's that sit with you when you meet a guy and you're like, so, tell me about yourself? And he's like, well, paying $1,300 a month in child support, and I hate my baby's mama. And well, not maybe let's leave the hate my baby's mama part out, because if he says that, you gonna
Yes, run.
right? But no, I'm paying $1,300 a month in child support. Is that a deal breaker? Like,
It depends
Not
on
for
how.
me. If
Yeah.
I feel like if you have children, you need to take care of them. That will rub me all the way. I'm a single mom that never received any child support, so that will rub me all the way the wrong way. If you have children and you cry about child support, my whole thing is whatever your bills are, that don't need to affect anything that you're gonna do for me. That's all I care about.
yeah,
Okay, your business and your life and your things and your stuff, that's your business. And that doesn't need to impact anything that I'm gonna want or that I'm gonna need if you want to be in my life. But I don't mind.
right, yeah,
Yeah, child support isn't a deal breaker for me, but I do know that more than one baby mama, I can't deal with that. Like if you have a, because I only have one kid. I mean, she's 12. I don't have a problem with her dad. He minds his business, I mind mine. And like, I'm
yeah,
hoping to get into a situation similar to mine. So, but child support is not a deal breaker for me. As long as he can have enough money to pay his bills and still have enough money left over after he pays for child support, because I'm not giving him any of my money, you know. So,
Right.
but the baby mama thing, I cannot deal with that. I cannot deal with a man that has different baby mamas, like more than one. I'm gonna be like, I can't do it. And
yeah,
you never know. That's if they don't have a good relation. You never know how their relationship is. And if she still wants him, and that's a lot of drama. But yeah.
yeah. And men talk about this with women all the time. They talk about women having multiple baby daddies, but they never speak on themselves about this situation. And they
Right.
understand that it is equally as tacky when they are running around here with 3 and 4 baby mamas,
Very.
Yeah, definitely a deal breaker. Absolutely. Yeah. What about small children? Do any of you guys ever like,
No, no, no.
I have an age limit too.
yeah.
Small kids,
No
no.
children.
Right. I agree. Small kids, yeah.
Yeah.
That could be a problem if you're trying, yeah. No.
And child support in the context that you brought it up is a deal breaker, because if you're saying it that way, it sounds like it's an issue for you. So that's a deal breaker for me.
Yeah. Typically, men have to be making a lot of money, a pretty good amount of money, to not be affected by child support. Like they have to be doing very well.
That's true.
And usually I feel like this is just based on my personal experience. When they're doing that well, they're proud. It's not a thing like, oh, I've got to pay this. Like people are proud of their vehicle or proud of that home or the zip code they live in. They're proud that I put my child in private school. I do this for my child. It's not like, oh, the child support is taking me down. Is like they're proud of the things like, yeah, my boy is, my little girl, my baby girl is doing. It's a thing of pride. That's the only reason why it's brought up. It's a thing of pride, not this extra money I got to spend on my child is bring me down and taking me out, and I can't take you out. It's not that type of thing.
Yeah. That's a problem if he tells you, I can't
Right.
X, Y, and Z for you because I have to pay child support. That's an issue. So what about online dating? Anybody? Nobody?
I've done it. I've done the online dating, and I'm not really for it. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I just feel like it's boring. There's a whole lot of like dry air. So tell me about you over and over and over again. So why are you single over and over and over again? Well, you want to send me some pictures? No, I don't want to send you any pictures. Like I'm very minimal. I'll answer the question and I'll leave like open-ended answers. Basically, I'm not going to be back and forth to let them know I'm not online a lot because they always want to get your number a lot. So we can exchange numbers, but we're not going to sit up and Jones on the phone all night. You listen, you look nice from what I've seen. I like the sound of your voice. Next, you need to be saying, I'd love to take you out. If you're not saying I'd love to take you out, sooner rather than later. Then when I hit, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm busy. Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm busy. I'm so sorry, I'm busy. So let me get this girl out on a date, or you're gonna be gone.
Yeah.
You're gonna be gone.
Well, I had bad experiences, so I would never do it again. But I think everybody is different. I think it worked for some people. I have a better time meeting people out the old-fashioned way, and I had a couple bad experiences online, so I stopped doing it.
Do you
Yeah.
care to elaborate? What happened bad? What went bad for you?
Oh, I had one guy that I hate to throw around the word crazy, but I don't know. He had something mental going on, but I couldn't diagnose it. I do know he had PTSD, but I think there's some other things going on. And he ended up stalking me. So
God.
No.
Yeah, that's definitely something to be concerned about. When you
So did he pick you up for the date? Did he pick you up?
I mean, we became friends. So like when I wanted to break it off, and it was, he didn't want to break it off, and that's the pursuit began.
Gotcha.
By then he already knew where I lived, all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's scary.
So it is said on the World Wide Web, on social media these days, that there is like a huge disconnect between Black men and Black women. Like it's huge and it's growing every day. What would you guys say is like the biggest issue that you see with Black men? Because y'all out here in the trenches with them. What is
I'm sorry, go ahead, Jesse.
Oh, no, you go ahead. You can go.
No, we don't need each other. Like, think about it. Back in the 70s, songs used to be about love, how to keep a person, how to keep a relationship together, how to keep somebody coming back home. And now look at the music. We treat each other like trash. What they say, music imitates, or art imitates life. And so I do believe that, that's the attitude of people, that we don't need each other, but it's so not true. And I spend a lot of time, convincing people that, why we do need each other, why marriage is important, not just marriage. It's not just about that, but how to support each other. Like I mentioned earlier, a lot of the relationships here are superficial. They don't want to get to know each other beyond the surface. They don't want you to ask them for nothing. Like, that's not what a relationship is about. We should be able to depend on each other more than just for sex.
right?
Now,
who do you think is more so to blame for the we don't need each other thing?
the father's not being in the home.
Yeah.
Started that, and that, snowballing to where we are today.
Because it turns into so many other things, right? It's one thing for men, it's a whole thing for them, but it's a thing for us because we got to learn how to live without men, and we got to learn how to be strong, and we got to learn how to do things for ourselves. And yep.
I think that's what the issue is, though. It's just a deeper rooted issue. There's a lot of things that are unresolved, and that's what the disconnect is.
Yeah.
It's like, I kind of feel like Black men, they like the idea of a strong Black woman, but then it's like, for, I think, Black woman, it's like, if I'm strong and I'm independent and I'm financially sufficient, I'm doing everything, I'm raising my child, I'm getting the degrees, I'm starting the businesses, I'm being an entrepreneur, if I'm doing all these things for myself, why do I need you? Well, no. Well, if you could get with me, we could build. When he say we could build, and he's really saying you can help build me up. That's what he's really thinking. You got all this stuff going on. Now you could build me up too. Not that I'm going to be a man and I'm going to take something off your plate. I'm going to make your life easier and better than what it was without me. They're not saying that I'm going to come into your life to make your life better. They're saying, I want to get with you so I can eat off you. That's what they're really wanting to say.
Yeah.
That's been my experience too.
Yeah.
Even men that seem to look good on paper, they end up just very needy.
Do you think that when a man, like, when let's say he does well for himself, he has everything he needs, he's looking for a wife, Do you think that when these men run into women that have it all in the bag, like they're doing everything like you said, I'm taking care of my kids, I'm paying my own mortgage, I'm changing my own oil, all that type of stuff. Do you think that it's kind of a turnoff for them, but the dudes on the other end who aren't doing so good for themselves are typically the men that are drawn to women who have everything going on? I think that men, I guess what I'm trying to say is men that have everything taken care of, they're looking for a wife, I think sometimes they don't want the conflict, right? They think that there's going to be smoke in the relationship because you are a strong Black woman, and you're taking care of everything. And he's like, well, yeah, what you need me for? You probably got something in your little nightstand drawer. You don't need me, But the brothers that aren't doing so good for themselves, they out here struggling, then they like jackpot.
It seems to be an issue with like them not feeling needed because you have
Right.
something going on and you can do everything for yourself. You don't necessarily need them. Like they don't feel that like sense of you need them. Like I don't know if it's just like a punch to their ego or something, but it does seem to be a turnoff for like the more successful guy. Like I've actually had people say that to me, like, you're too independent. Like, sorry. I mean, what?
Yeah. There's a workaround though. Sometimes you gotta fake it.
For me,
I was just
for
gonna
me, I'm not. I think if you don't lead with "I have this and I do that and I know that," as a woman, I just think it's not a need to. I mean, you have it what you have for yourself, just in case if all else fails, I have me. But I'm out in the world, honey. I need help. But you help me out, honey.
That's why I said that's why you gotta fake it. But you know what? Most women lead with that. A man be like, hey, how you doing? What's your name? He's like, I make 187,000 a year. I got my own house. I take care of my kids. What you want? Most women lead with that. And
yeah, honey, put that thing away. Y'all got fake you. Just don't mention it.
You make an hour, $10 an hour.
I think there's two different types of men. I think there's two different types of men. I think there's men who are high value men where they can take care of everything. And then I think there are men that you do 50-50 with. And I think you have to know who you're dealing with. And like for me, I learned I had a few high value men pursuing me, but I realized it didn't work because of my personality, where they would want me to quit my job and kind of fit into their life. And my life would have to revolve around their life. And that's fair. I believe that's how it should be if that's how they want it. They pay the cost to be the boss, right? And so I said, okay, well, let me look at the 50-50 guy because he's going to let me kind of be in charge sometimes, and that fits better with my personality.
He's not going to let you, but you're going to.
Yeah.
Going to because you're like, excuse me, I pay half the mortgage here. You don't tell me nothing. Yeah, he's not gonna you to, but that's the role that he's pretty much going to have to allow you to assume, unfortunately. Now, are 50-50 brothers out of the question?
Absolutely. I don't know what 50-50 is.
Jesse, 50-50?
I can't do 50-50. I cannot.
Unika, I already know what you're gonna say.
I can't. I won't. I can't and I won't just because it's either all or nothing. It's 100% or 100% I do it for myself because I'm not in need or lack. I don't need your help. I don't need your support. It would definitely have to be someone said is a guy, Black guy. He's in law school right now, so I know lawyers coming out of school broke. But he's like, "Oh, you're looking at a millionaire." I'm like, "Okay, that's cool." But he was like, "But I don't want a dependent, so I don't need anyone calling me a dependent just because anyone that I'm with, I want you to want to do nice things for me, just like men want you to want to do nice things for them. It's not like dependent, honey. I am good all by myself. I don't need nothing you got. If you gotta call me a dependent.
Wow,
So,
he said that. That's funny.
yeah, it was really laughable and funny to me. So, I wouldn't do the 50-50 thing just because I'm not in need of help and support. I'm wanting somebody that, wants to be in my life, wants me to be there, that wants to have the opportunity to be with me, and that would just lavish me with the lifestyle that I want. If not, I'm very happy and comfortable being a single little girl.
Yeah. Lauren, what about you? 50-50 out the question or no?
I stand on what I said. Because
Yeah.
I've dated millionaires, honey, and this is nothing against you, Unika. We are different. We all have our own opinions and desires, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I dated billionaires, and they were the worst relationships for me. And I found that I had the best experiences with average guys, and that's just my experience.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about 50-50. That's a bit much because that is a roommate, but I often talk to women about like, just come down just a little bit, not settle, because women be like, oh, you keep telling us that. No, not settle, but sometimes, regular brothers. It's the regular brothers that maybe he can't pay all the bills. He can't, buy you lavish gifts. He ain't gonna put you in a Bentley or nothing. But he's a regular brother. He's making a regular wage, and maybe you make more money than him. Is that out of the question for anybody? You make more money than he does?
Look, it's so hard to find a guy with substance that, to me, you got to look past all that. Like, if he has $1 million, but look at some of these celebrity relationships. I would hate to be some of them. Look at Amber Rose. They got millions of dollars. Look at what he's doing to her. Like, because he can take care of everything. Like, you have to look at everything that comes with that. And for me, I've already bought everything that I could want. Anything else would be extra. I just want somebody who's with a good heart and who's going to treat me like a queen, and I don't have to worry about him cheating and all that kind of stuff. And that we can build together.
Yeah. Yeah.
For me, I'm not really here to build anything build up, but being treated nice and the sentimental things and the nice dates and treating you with respect, and just making you feel good. That's I place a lot of value on that as well. But I know what I don't really delve much into money. I just look at the experiences. I don't know what anyone makes, like per se, like, what's your credit score, how much you bring in annually, or what's your W-2. I would never ask. I don't know. I just know when it's time to be with each other, when it's time to go out, we always have a good time. And there's never a thing, oh, you're going to get the bill or you're going to, so as long as that continues, it's not who makes more. I don't know. And really, I don't care. I just know every time we, get to, be around one another, it's never, we're happy and we're comfortable, and it's never, oh, so you got it this time. I took you out, this many times, you're going to get half, you're going to get the tip. I'm not going to get the tip. I'm not going to pay the bill. I'm not going to ever. So, as long as I'm always happy, then I don't know how much no one makes, and I don't care, for me.
Yeah. So last night we talked about a little bit about someone in the live last night, or in our Zoom last night, said they spent 4 years. Who was it? Was it you, Unika? Who was that? That said they spent 4 years with someone. They were in a relationship for 4 years. And so we started talking about like how long is too long to be dating someone if marriage is what you're interested in, and he's just playing, mind games, basically. How long do you date someone before you say, okay, if we ain't gonna get married, then I'm out the door?
Remember, I asked you last night when we had the discussion and you said a year. And I thought about that. A year is like enough time.
I said 6 months. I said 6
You said
months.
6 months to a year.
Yeah.
So I think that's about 6 months to a year.
Yeah. 6 months can be a long time.
Right.
But I would start asking, well, for me, since I'm 39, like I would start asking, like on the first date, you know how when you sit down with the person and you're saying, where do you see yourself in like a year or 2 years or 3 years or something like that? And I would, if I was wanting marriage, I would tell them right then and there. So that way, you won't waste your time. Like if they're not on the same page, there's no need for a second date or anything like that. So,
Right.
yeah.
Because
A
Lauren,
question, please.
oh,
Because I wanted to know, because what happens? There's a lot of guys that don't feel most guys don't want to get married until they're elder, more mature, just down on their luck, or just realize their bubblegum dreams is not going to come true of this young hot woman that's going to want to fulfill all their dreams. So like, do you still date in the meantime, or is like, I want to get married, nope, want to get married, nope, I want to get, like, do you date? Like, how's that go? I just had was curious about.
no, if
Because
you're
most guys,
dating, if you're dating a man, are you asking like if you're dating a man and he tells you he's not ready to get married yet? And
no, because
you're
usually they'll say, oh yeah, I can see myself doing it, and then like kind of like pushing it off, and they'll put in because you heard, oh, I could do it, or I'm looking for it, or I'm family oriented, but then 4 years later, you're
no,
still talking about it.
you're so not going to get to that point with him.
Okay.
He should be the one. Actually, I always felt that he should be the one mentioning it, because I think that a lot of times we can tell that men do not want to be married, and we can tell when they don't want to be married to us, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're honest with ourselves. Like, we know this, but we keep, like I said last night, like how I changed somebody's mind in the past. We try to change their minds, because we're like, oh, well, he gonna come around. But no, I mean, if you're dating someone, you go out on a date with somebody and you say, hey, I'm trying to be wife, I'm not interested in, doing this past Tuesday if you're not interested in being married. And he blatantly says, oh no, I'm not getting married for another 10 years. I wouldn't go out on another date with him. But that's me. I don't like to waste my time. I wouldn't.
But from my experiences, I tell them I want to be married. They kind of agree. They're big on it too much, right? And they don't elaborate on it and go on it, but they're agreeing with me. They're taking it in and they're nodding their head and all. And we're spending time, and I'm asking them, like, well, do you want to get out the whole time? Because I know he hasn't elaborated. I'm like, well, do you want to get married in a year or two? Like, where do you see yourself? And before I know it, they'll go along with it up until the point where you start planning a wedding, and then they get cold feet and they want to.
That's because he didn't ask you.
Right. And he still wanted to date. He wanted to move in, still wanted to build a life. He just didn't want to make the commitment. And I find a lot of that too. It's not that they don't want you at all. And I know that means that you're not the one, but they'll still want you to play house. You know what I mean?
And no playing house. Ain't nobody got time like that to waste.
And some men are sneaky. Like if they know that you really want to get married, they'll play into that, and they're sneaky. You have to watch them. You just have to watch them. If they know you want to get married,
a tip, girl. Get a tip. What would they do?
No. You know how you say you want to get married, and they, oh no, this is how they get you. They like, so what kind of man do you like? What kind of man do you date? Like, and then you start telling them, I like a God-fearing man. And all of a sudden they're reading their Bibles every night, and they call you like Bible scriptures or whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah. And that, yeah. Oh, I just love my mama. We have the best relationship.
You like that?
They can't stand their mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love my mama.
Right. You have to be careful with that, especially with that marriage thing. They'll just get what they want. That's why I go on dates, but I keep my legs closed, because they'll get what they want. And then
tell them you need them bills paid to see if you come up with some money.
Right. You need,
they will lie, but
they will lie.
tell by their topic of discussion, how they talk about life, especially if you've been dating a guy for a while, how he talks about the future, if he's included in it, he says when we get married, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's his ideas in his mind. But yeah, I mean, dudes, there are a lot of guys out here who are clearly trying to finesse women, just like there are a lot of us out here who are clearly trying to finesse them sometimes.
Yeah, it's a lot of women too. Yeah, women. I'm not just saying men, women too, because I have friends and I hear the stories. Yes, they will finesse a man. So.
Oh yeah, I've been engaged to some guys that I knew good and hell well I was not getting ready to marry them, but when they dropped down on one knee, I was like, okay,
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, but I feel like that's just when a man is into you like that. Now, Lauren, I know you were saying talking about being like blatantly left at the altar, which is something that nobody ever expects to have to deal with, and I don't know if you want to talk about, do you want to talk about it, or
We could talk about it.
yeah, and twice. That's
yes. And so that's when I had to say, what am I doing wrong? And so then I started to approach it differently, and I let him talk about it. Let him bring it up. But I am dating again, and it's going good. It was challenging at first because he was recently divorced. That came with its own set of challenges because men do not want to turn around and just get married again right away. And they have their own grieving process and healing process and all that. He had to go through that. But he talks about marriage. We'll see. Because it has to be right for me. I could have been married just to say I was married. I had older gentlemen that wanted to marry me, and like Eva said, they were very intentional, like with wanting to get married and starting a family. Way different than the other guy I had dated. So there is a difference.
yeah. Yeah, I think there's a huge difference when they talk about it than when we talk about it. So a question that women often ask me is, where should they go to meet men? This question always throws me because I really sat down and I tried to think about 3 places I've been and met a man, and I was like, I don't know, I think I've met guys everywhere. I've met guys in the gym, I've met guys at Walmart. I have never met a gentleman that I have dated or even had relations with in a club ever. And I know that's some people's main source of meeting. I have never. So I was curious. I said, I'm going to ask the ladies, where do they meet men?
Well, I'm like, I meet men in clubs. I always meet them in passing, like on a train, in grocery store, at Home Depot. And I like the idea of like car wash.
Yeah.
We don't wash our car as much as men, but we can fake it. We can go up there and wash our car.
Absolutely.
Going on.
I learned that when I did that video. I was like, well, I never paid attention to how many brothers hang out at the car wash. Shauna, what about
For
you?
me?
Oh, go ahead. Were you?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't want to cut anybody off. Did somebody else want to go?
No, go ahead, Unika. There's like a 3-second delay that happens, but go ahead.
No, for me, it happens real easily, like just in life. Like it's not even a thing that I think about anymore. I mentioned before, I'm a loan signing agent, notary loan signing agent. I deal with a lot of investors, some developers, I don't know, professionals, just every day in life. Mostly it's men, but sometimes it's women. But every day I'm meeting these people starting new businesses or applying for this cert or this. A lot of folks are engineers. They're working remote and they need an I-9 verification. I do those, so I meet them. I go to a nice gym. I go to meetups, like business meetups, like be in the business meetups. You know, there's businessmen and business meetups, and anything real estate. There's men in real estate making lots of money. I used to be a CNA, so I'll be in the hospitals. I put my scrubs on. I'm hanging around the OR. I'm looking for a surgeon. I'm looking for an anesthesiologist. Like I'm just everywhere where the men with the money be at. And when you be there, you're seen. It's easy. I go to conferences. I'm in, a level of businesses that deals with sales, and you go to the conferences, and there's high earners there, and you just have to be there because guess what? Men with money have lives, and at the end of the day, they want to be around somebody that's nice, that's attractive, that's going to treat them good, that they're going to have a good time with, and the world is your oyster. I fly first class, so I'm in the clubs in the Delta Sky, or the American Emeralds Club, and you exchange cards, and sometimes they're going to come. I'm in Raleigh, so they come through RDU. They're everywhere. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm renovating my home right now. So I'm getting like lots of materials. I had met a guy, an older guy, while I was checking out. I was waiting I got a really expensive toilet. And while I was waiting for the guys to come put it into my car, this guy, I see him over there. He see me just waiting at the checkout thing. When they're waiting, you're waiting for them to load your car. And he came around. He's like, I love the opportunity to take you out. I hope I'm not too forward. I don't know if you date older, because he was older. He's like, I don't know if you date older, but he smelled nice, and we went out. So you have to look your best. You have to come out with a clear mind and a great attitude. And when you look inviting, guys will come. When you look inviting, when you riled up and in leggings and looking a mess and with the bonnet and flip flops and slides. No, but when you always look nice and you have an aura or an energy that you're having a good day, they're like, oh, what's she smiling about? Let me go. Go over there and talk to her. She looked nice,
I agree
So
with that 100%. Yeah, if you look approachable, and you're out there and you look, put
everywhere. Look up the nice zip codes, go to the nice restaurants. Men with money, they like good meals in the middle of the day, not at nighttime, for lunch, for early dinner, for happy hour. They're there. The nice cars are there. They're there. There's so many times I'll go and I sit at the bar and someone will pull up. First it's like, oh, is anyone sitting here? And then that's the small chat, I'm a solo traveler. I go everywhere by myself, and usually that's the open. So you're here by yourself? What? Where's your friends? People, men, sometimes women, like group of women, they'll invite me in just because I'm by myself and I'm personable. Like, oh, come on, hang on out with us. So it works out for me that I do stuff by myself. Most women, I notice it like, oh, how you do that? I would never. I can't. I'm scared. I'm nervous. It can't be a group thing, because you're going to get your man by yourself. You're going to marry your man by yourself. It's not going to be a group thing. So
yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, whenever I hear about women going on dates and taking other women with them, I just think that is the silliest thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
We need to have you do a video on how to go out and meet a man.
You have to be happy within yourself first, not wanting a man and to complete you. You need to be complete and on full. You need to fill that gas up all the way to the brim at first, and when you go out, then you'll be good. When you're lacking and you're feeling like you're missing something and you're empty and you need something from somebody else, you need to handle your situation first.
Yeah, absolutely.
A good place to go, the steakhouses. Like a lot of men, like you said, during happy hour. Yeah, because me and a few of my coworkers, we went to Ruth's Chris during happy hour, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and a lot of men. They had a lot of men there.
And I like
in the daytime too,
during happy hour,
like 2, 3, 4 o'clock.
Right.
You say, Lauren?
I like to hit up the cigar lounges.
Oh yeah. There's lots of guys in the cigar. So ladies, y'all hear this? Y'all can stop asking me.
And estate sales. If you Google the estate sales, they have. Yeah, they have a lot of.
I'm looking for stuff. Not no man, but I'm. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen a lot of guys at estate sales though.
Really? They're there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did we talk? We didn't talk much about age, did we? Did we talk about the age?
Mm-mm.
Okay, first let's talk about the wall because I know Lauren. I know you want to talk about the wall, girl. You want to talk about?
Oh, let's talk about the wall, honey.
Okay, so I am 44. Lauren is 44. Jesse's 30,
39.
39. Shauna, you're 30,
7.
37. And Unika, you're 37 too, right?
37 as well.
Okay, 37. So according to the statistics,
We all ran into the wall.
no, actually, Lauren and I have ran smack dab face first into the wall
And I'm right behind y'all.
right behind us. Yeah, I hate this. I hate when women feel like life is over for them when we reach this certain point in our lives. I always like to use myself as an example because I got married later on in life and I'm living my best life. So I know that is possible, you know, and I think that it has a lot to do with, we talked a little bit about this last night, how much you take care of yourself. We're just going to leave it at that. You know, how I think a lot of women feel like when they're getting close to this point and they're still not married and they're not dating and they're not happy with their lives, they haven't cleaned out their headspace, then they just kind of start to let themselves go, you know, and it's so unhealthy. It's so bad. And it lessens the chance that you will find a husband, you know, later on in life. But I hate when people use this term because, you know, men feel like they get better as they get older and we get worse. But I think that they get more stable, you know.
That's something because there's a lot of broke older men in these streets, honey.
Yeah, exactly. They get more, typically, sometimes they get more settled, you know, their value increases and they feel like for us it's the opposite, you know. And I hate when women feel like, oh my God, I'm 40. This is over for me now, you know.
And that's why I pride myself on keeping myself together.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I watch my weight, although to be honest, weight has never been an issue for me, but as I got older, I could eat whatever I wanted anymore. So I still monitor what I eat. I work out when I can. I look nice in my clothes. You know, I just try to look presentable. And I feel good about myself when I go out. People see that. People can see the confidence. And I think that has an effect. And I have no problem meeting men at all because of that. You know, I always keep a nice wardrobe. And so I just put a little bit of effort in.
Yeah.
And it works. It works for me. It works well.
And I think it will work for everybody. I think, you know, and I don't like to speak on the weight issue because I think that whenever I do it, like I get so much heat from Black women, but it's an issue, you know, it's an issue and it's something that we need to get control of. And I think that is something that will make our lives easier. And as we get older, like you said, it does get harder. Like I could stay out of the gym for 6 months when I was in my 20s and go back to the gym and it would look like I never left after just 2 workouts. Now let me not do nothing for 6 months. It's a problem. But you have to work a little bit harder, but it's not the unthinkable. And we really have to do better. I think that's the biggest thing about it. I know some women though that are in their 40s, 50s, and 60s who are out here raising pure hell. They look good, you know, they're
killing the game in these streets, honey. Killing the game.
yeah, you know, and then I know some 20-year-old girls who I look at the 20-year-old girls and I'm like, you know, my situation is tighter. So I'm like,
Right.
okay, you know.
Right.
But yeah, I hate when men say that about us hitting the wall. You know, they act like they don't have a wall. They have a wall. They slam face first into it. They break through it, but they don't talk about it. Do you find that men don't talk about their aging issues the way we talk about ours? Because we openly talk about ours, right? But you don't like
I
you.
think they try to put the cloak of shame onto you, the cloak of shame that they have for themselves. They're wanting to, like James Brown, take it off and put it onto you. That's how they feel. They feeling like, okay, the money that I thought I was gonna be making, I'm not making it. The receding hairline, there's only so much Beijing and spray I can put on this thing. The body ain't right. The prostate issues ain't right. My testosterone is teetering and is dwindling. They're feeling bad. You can't talk to your homeboys or the men's about it. The woman, they're not finding them attractive. They're not coming like they thought that they was gonna be coming. And the woman that they had in their life, they probably rejected them because they thought they was gonna get something better, and now they need them to come back, and they may have moved on. So it's like, how can I feel better about myself? Only when like, oh, you think you cute. Whereas you thought she was cute. She didn't think, she thought she was having a great day. When people say, oh, you think you cute, it's like, oh, like I feel bad about myself. So let me kind of nitpick at you. So hopefully you'll feel bad so I can feel better. They want you to feel bad because they feel bad about themselves, but they don't want to feel bad alone. No, they don't want to increase their money. They don't want to do the work, which is exercise in their house. You don't even got to go anywhere. You could do exercise in your house and change your diet to work on your stomach. But instead of doing that, it's easier to get online, hear a whole bunch of guys saying the same thing that you're thinking, and like, yeah, these women are bad, and they hit the wall. Yeah, they hit the wall. And that makes them feel better. No work, no effort. They feel better, so it's a temporary fix.
Yeah, because they do not like, we'll sit up and talk about, ooh, child, these hot flashes, I'm going through menopause, and I gotta get some fillers, and we talk about that type of stuff, but they be out here, like you said, getting Beijing, playing like they ain't doing nothing, and I know a guy who got liposuction, and
a lot of guys get liposuction. I was surprised. They do.
Yeah, they don't talk about it like we talk about it, but they will talk about us in a minute, and it's hilarious.
Well, life is easier when it's everybody else's fault and not theirs. When the life is easier when everybody else needs to work on themselves, but they don't have to do any work. So it's a temporary fix. They feel better. Nothing is going to change in their lives, but they feel better temporarily. That's the outlet. That's why they don't mind logging in after work, cracking open a beer, throwing up a $5 super chat or $2.99, super chat. And, they're in the club and they feel like, yeah, we're in this fraternity of sorts of, all these men that's against the woman. At the end of the day, they wish they had somebody that, that loved them and cared for them and, that would be remotely happy in some level, some sense of the word.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's hilarious. Gotta love them.
And I'm from all ages. Like I tell you, black or white or anything between, I don't mind. You're older, I go is cause I find that guys that are doing well, like they look better, like men get good at 50. Like they really do make it good at 50. I'm for it, but
I'm good at 50. I think it has something to do with like, the money.
Right.
Money. And they have like an air of confidence, like the way they move, like I don't know, there's something about them, and it's the intellect and the intelligence and the knowledge. It's everything. It really is everything.
With that, but I think that's them what they get at 50. I think most of us get it at 40. I think that like the light bulb comes on, and yeah, but I agree. Some of them, now we won't say all of them because some of them are 50, but they really like 25 mentally,
Right. It takes them a while to mature. You know that.
Yes. So last night we talked about picking men, how sometimes our pickers are off. And Unika, I remember you said always choose you first. It's not about picking men, but
yeah.
But
Choosing better is choosing me, and I say accept better,
right.
accept better. You know, because I joined what was it, some type of like course, you know, online. These people say I have these courses, and I signed up for a course, and there's a basic one, and of course there's another one after that, and then to get the most results you got to pay the most money. And I was like, okay, I'll pay it because I want the most results. And at the end of the thing was a whole turnaround with a personal email. I'm like, oh my gosh, because here we go again. Oh, I'm attracted to your energy and this, that, and the other. And I got some roses in the mail, and I'm like, Lord, like it happens all the time, like all the time. I'm like, all the time. So that's why it's got to be about money, because you in my face. I paid you money for a course for some, you know, for some results, and you know this supposed to be professional. You're sending me, oh, your energy. Listen, I already know what time it is. I already know what time it is. So it's like, and then there was like, oh, well, I'm gonna be here. Would you want to hang out? You're 53 years old. I told you what my goals was. I gave you. So this is not going to be this is no longer professional. You know all the information about me that I don't give men about me. How much I make, what I'm doing, what businesses I have, what assets I have, what investments I have. And now you're going to find yourself interested in me? No. Do I want to hang out? I'm 37 years old. I don't want to hang out like my 19-year-old. I don't want to hang out. You're going to approach me correctly. Unika, I find you attractive. I love to take you out and show you a good time. Not, do you want to come out to Vegas and hang out with me? No, I don't want to come out to Vegas. I told you I just came back from Costa Rica. You think I want to come to Vegas and hang out with you? And then you're telling me, and honey, I know you were generous, so I know you're going to give me my own hotel suite. I know you're going to do that. I am a Marriott Vacation Club owner. Okay, I am platinum all the way around. So I'm not doing any kind of rinky dink. No, I don't want to come to Vegas with you. And so hang out. I'm like, no, I had.
So needless to say, you didn't pick him.
Honey, I did not pick him. He's trying to pick me, but you ain't trying to pay for nothing. You gotta go. You got to go.
Yeah.
And I choose me all the time, because no, you want to take me away from my money and my business, and they're gonna take about, oh, it's not all about the material. I never said it was about anything. I thought it was about this workshop and this course. You trying to
with men, they always looking for the loophole. The way
no, ain't no loopholes around here.
Where did this guy come from? I'm confused.
Somebody online that has supposedly have this knowledge, this knowledge of increasing your credit from whatever it is to get 850, because really I want that 850, 900, whatever. I want that perfect credit score, about getting business credit, how to get I think something like $100,000 in business credit. I'm like, oh, I want that too. Something else about investment. So like all these things that was, you know, being perpetrated. And I'm not saying that it's not happening, but I paid money for a professional like course and information, and you're on behind the scenes trying to swing it on back and saying that I'm attracted to your energy. No, you don't get to dibble. You don't get to say, did you pay your invoice? And now do you want to come hang out and chill? No.
Yeah.
You got your money, right?
Men are always looking for the loophole. But
no, honey.
I have oftentimes found that like we talked about last night, like sometimes our pickers are off. Like we are picking these men, and sometimes we are picking the same type of man over and over and over again, and we don't even realize that that's what we're doing, and we're doing it for a reason, you know. Well, we're doing it for two reasons, really. We're doing it, but the other side of that is, you know, you attract to you whatever it is that you are. So those people that, you know, share the same issues as us are typically the people that we're going to attract. You know, they're typically attracted to us. So I agree 100% with choose you first. But also I think that, you know, maybe some light vetting.
I was gonna say, like, people jump into relationships too quickly, and they need to learn each other and become friends first. It's so important. Like the men that I have become friends with first, it was so much stronger relationship.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. Like, so do you think that you have to be friends? Like, because I hear people say this all the time, like, oh, he's my best friend.
Get to know somebody first, but I got enough friends. I think it's important for me to get to know you, but I don't want to be
You have to click like that. Like, for me, we have to have that foundation where we can be friends, not just lovers. Like, I don't want to, I mean, like, I have to like you. I have to like hanging out with you.
Oh,
You
you
know,
have to like him more than you have to love him.
yeah, and that's what I mean when I say friends.
Yeah.
Like, and so for me, that's important that we build that friendship first, because you're not going to always be in love. Love is fleeting. That I do know.
Absolutely.
So that friendship is what brings you back together, and then you can fall in love again. So for
Yeah.
me, that's important.
But I feel like sometimes when you focus so hard on building the friendship in the beginning, I think you typically wind up in the friend zone. Do you find that to be?
Well, here's the thing. If it's effortless, because sometimes it's effortless, right? And for me, when it was effortless, to me, it said we're compatible. That's what I call compatibility. When I had to put effort, then I was like, wait a minute, this is too much work. And so for me, it's either that friendship is built effortlessly and like we're having fun the whole time and it's a positive process, or it's like pulling teeth trying to like build a friendship. And if it's the latter, where it's a struggle trying to and a whole lot of effort into it, then I know he's not for me.
Right. Now, who in here is looking for their soulmate? Are you?
Uh-huh. I mean, I'm dating someone now, and it's been a year and a half process so far. But like I said, when we first met, he was recently divorced. But I didn't mind because I wanted to build a friendship, and we're very compatible. Our family life matches up. That was important to both of us, because he got divorced because he didn't get along with his ex-wife's family and that dynamic. So we made sure like we're on the same page with that. We share the same religion. We have the same ideas for the future. It still wasn't easy, still wasn't perfect, but we had that foundation where we had some common ground that worked in our favor as well.
Yeah. I don't believe in soulmates. I won't say that I don't believe in them, but I think that they come into your life in different ways. They can be a best friend. They could be a girl, it could be your best friend or something along those lines. But I feel like as women, especially us, we spend too much time trying to find our soulmate. We want butterflies. We want to fall in love. And we, unlike many other cultures and nationalities, we don't think about the business side of it. And we don't think about the business side of it because the moment we do, the fools in the background are like, oh, here they go with their gold digging ways. And other nationalities, who are taught that, hey, this is what you need to do. This is who you're going to marry. And I said that about the SYSBM, the gentleman who Save Yourself Black Men. I'm like, okay, so you go to another country, you get a wife, you got to pay her parents a dowry before you can even take her out of the country. Then when you bring her over here, you can best believe that you're going to be taking care of and supporting her family for however long it is you decide you want to be married to her. But you want to call a woman a gold digger who feels like you should be paying the bills and taking care of her. I don't understand that. Someone will have to explain that to me. But I think that's the reason why we don't think about the
because we get shamed if we do. Money, you want some money, but they don't care about coming with their cookie snatching ways. They up in here, they always want to be in a cookie jar though. They'll bring that roll out on the first night if you'll let them. But talk about, a future and the lifestyle and taking care of, some bills. It's like, oh, can't you do that for yourself? Yeah, I can do it for myself. I can also be by myself too. So have hit the road and have a nice life.
Yeah.
Right, because they bring women from other countries and they have to pay for their visas. They have to pay for their, immigration paperwork.
But I think they like that because I guess those are preferences. Like they run out of it. But you see, they go out of their way for what they want. they go out and they wait for you. So you got to beg them about marriage and, string them along, but they'll get a passport, they get on a plane. So you go way over there.
Do you know what they're paying for?
No.
Submission.
But you can have submission right here if you would treat somebody right. Treat somebody right here, and somebody will submit to you. I think it's very natural. I think it feels so good. I tell you, when I was working as a sitter. I was a sitter at a hospital. I was working through contract for a company, for a hospital where, you just go in and you'll watch 12-hour shifts. You watch patients to make sure they don't harm themselves or pull lines or anything like that. And I had a guy that's like, come out, you should come out with me. I'd love to take you out. And I'm like, no, I gotta work. And he's like, you always gotta work and, come out. And he's like, come out, like really, and I tell you, I went into the bathroom and I cried. This man, he always drove like a truck. He owned like a fitness warehouse, like fitness equipment. I don't know. He owned a business that had to do with fitness and equipment. He was always in shorts. He was older. He was always in shorts and some like training type sneakers. And he had a lot of cars. He had a ring with a lot of cars on it. And when we went out, because I did, he's like, "Come on out. You should come out." And I was frustrated at the time because, I was overwhelmed. I'm working 2 jobs. I've got these bills. I have no life. I got my child. I've got my own stuff going on. But I did want to go out. I did want to have a good time. And, he gave me an envelope. And he's like, "Here, this is for you." He said, "Here, this is for you." And, I put it in my purse and I kind of like peeked and looked at it. And it was full of hundreds, honey. It was full of hundreds. I excused myself and I cried because I'm like, at the time, that was like a good 2 or 3's worth. Like that was almost a full month of what I would have made. Yeah. And it was not anything inappropriate. And I'm like,
hang on.
How good I felt that
comments here. Give me 1 second, Unika. Let me answer some comments.
Oh, okay.
In the comment section. So we got Ebony Williams says, "I think women have to stop leading with their business and education. Men see this as a huge turnoff because the women tend to think that's all they have to bring to the table. Men don't feel needed." Yeah, we talked about that. How definitely you should not lead with
just for fun, just a good time and fun,
Someone said, "Eva, you need to engage and include the viewers." I'm trying, y'all cut me some slack here. I'm trying, all right. Oh.
And another good thing is when you go out on a date, you should let the man talk, like most of the time. Because he'll let you know, he'll tell on himself. Like he'll let you know everything that you want to know without even, especially if they have like a drink or two. They'll just tell on themselves. So you really don't have to tell what you bring to the table.
If he's talking entirely too much, it's a wrap.
Right. But you still need to let him, No, I was answering her question when she said, sometimes you don't have to lead with what you have and your education and everything like that. I was just saying you should let the man talk, especially on the first date. You should let him.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be talking about that, honestly. Yeah.
Right.
Jackie Glasgow said, "I would be happy to find a man I'm compatible with and we complement each other. Soulmate is asking a lot." Yeah, I want us to really stop this stuff. Stop this soulmate stuff, because you know what most of us don't realize? Here's the thing. Most of us who are in our 40s, 50s, and 60s, and we're looking for our soulmate, we have already had him, or we've already encountered that person. They've already been a part of our lives, right?
Or you ain't gonna get another one.
Yeah, you don't get another one. There's like you will meet many people that you'll be close to. You will have, reason, season, lifetime, all that type of stuff there. But you probably already met your soulmate. You had great chemistry, y'all had fun, y'all loved each other, y'all did whatever. And stop looking for that. Stop looking for butterflies and stop it. Because excuse me, all of that goes away. You know, that stuff goes away when you start picking up his dirty drawers off the floor. Them butterflies gonna go away real fast. When you start, go ahead, Lauren.
You don't have to call it soulmate. I get it. A lot of people don't like the word. I just want a relationship where, like, when people see us, they see that we're in love. Like when you look at the Obamas, I'll use them as an example. You know, you can see that and that's not to say their relationship is perfect, but that they genuinely love each other. And you can see that without them having to say a word. And that's what I want.
Yeah, you can tell that they have a connection. But I think another thing that a lot of people like look at these, especially celebrity couples, and they get who was the celebrity couple that had an infidelity? Oh, I know. Well, I don't know if I want to say Will and Jada, because I've never looked at Will and Jada as the, you know, model for Black love, because we all knew there was some shisty stuff going on in that house. But I mean, we look at couples and we're like, oh my God, they look so happy together. And then people get in these relationships and they want to look as equally happy, because they don't understand that, like, that's not marriage every day. You know what I'm saying? And to get to that point to where you can, like, you know, just be blissful and having it takes some work, and it's gonna be some drama, and it's gonna be some arguing. You know, I just want women to be more realistic about the things that they're looking for and what you might have to go through to get what it is that you actually want, you know, and how everything that looks good, you know, because you see it on other people is not really what it is. Angela said marriage is a business deal, and that is why most Black women and Black folks in general stay single, because we are taught the wrong game. I agree with that. People get mad at you when you talk about the business side of marriage. I mean, they really do. They're like, marriage is not a business. It's love, it's commitment. It's like, okay, well, you know, think about the last business deal you did where you sat down, you had to sign a contract. Everybody who was involved in the business deal had to sign the same contract, right? You know, excuse me. If things don't work out, you know, then the contract has to be broken. It's going to cost somebody a lot of money. Yeah, 100%.
People close businesses all the time when they don't have the love for their business too. So it's the same thing.
Miss Effortless Beauty 82 said men always tell on themselves. Yeah, they do. So most of them do, but some of them slick. Some of them real slick. Cassie African Queen says soulmates are mostly dusty talk. Run. As a woman, I can say the problem is not in women. Rosa's World said that. Yeah, I think that the problem is in both of us. Like we talked about earlier, it's like Lauren said, we act like we don't need each other, you know, and that's a problem. That's a huge problem. Eva, you should do a chat with married women of various ages and single women. I volunteer to discuss as a married woman. You know what, Ebony, send me an email, because next week I have a married woman on the panel next week that's coming on. We have to realize that you can't, this is Soca Addict. We have to realize that you can't pull all your expectations on one person. You can't put all your expectations on one person. You have people in your life for different things. The man in your life is there to protect, provide, and cherish you. I love that, Soka. That's so true. I talked about that in a video of mine, how I was always stuck in this thing where I would always say, like, my husband wasn't making me happy, right? I'm like, you don't make me happy. Like, what's wrong with you? Why you don't make me happy? And he was like literally doing everything in his power to make me happy. And then one day I woke up and I was like, oh, wait, hold on. That's not your responsibility. That's mine. Never mind. You good.
You good.
You You good? I got this. Don't worry. Go sit down. Yeah. And I had to look to learn how to, because I thought like a lot of women think when I got married, okay, my girlfriends, y'all, y'all gotta go over here because I'm wifey now. But no, I had to learn I had to lean to my girlfriends for stuff. My husband don't want to shop with me. My husband don't want to sit up and listen to me talk for 2 hours, and he doesn't want to be a part of any of that. So if I could just let him do what he's actually supposed to do and look to other people in my life for other things, then things will work out just fine. Don't forget the married man. Oh, Alfred Washington said, don't forget the married man. You really need to hear from us. We absolutely need to hear from married men. We need to hear from married men. We need to know what it is with y'all. How do y'all know, or when do y'all know that y'all actually gonna pop the question, and when should we just walk away because y'all know it ain't gonna happen? We have a lot of questions,
and they need to be honest too.
And they need to be honest. Yeah. Absolutely, be honest.
Are they happily married, and do they have a girl on the side somewhere?
I was just getting ready to say, because some of these married men are more in the streets than these single men. They are for the streets. They are for the streets, because I meet them all the time. Y'all need to stop.
Community P, know what I mean?
God will punish y'all, because y'all are for the streets now. You married men. What's his name? Alfred?
Yeah. Alfred.
Talk to your friends, Alfred. I'm not saying it's you, but talk to your married friends too. Y'all are out here trying to get these single women and date them and make them think that you're single. That's not cool. I run into a lot of married men, and I'm like, do I have side chick written on my forehead? Because they out here, and they are for the streets. They are
into these men, and they so easily approach you because of the fact that there are so many women out here who don't care about wifey at home.
Right.
So
I just think
right. There are some married men out here who are dating more than the 4 single ladies on this panel tonight.
Right. That's why I said they're for the streets, and that it's disgusting. They need to stop. They really do.
Oh, this is a question right here. Opulence Prime asked me, Eva, how do you feel about open marriages? It's a good question. Y'all would be amazed at my answer for that.
No, I want to hear.
I want to hear it too.
Wish I had a sister wife, but if I had a sister wife, she would have to love to cook, clean, iron, and be motherly. Let me do me. No, you know what? Let me tell you what I feel here. Like you just said, so many of these married men are for the streets, and if you have 2 people who are in a relationship who say, hey, I love you. This is what you bring to my life. This is what we have together. This is what we are together. But they agree to the fact that, I find this over here. You find this over here. As long as both parties agree to it, I say, I don't judge people for what they do. Now, my husband, he doesn't play any part in no mess like that. But yeah, I don't judge people for what they do. And I especially don't judge people when they're being honest and they're keeping it real with each other, because all these men out here sneaking around, they wives ain't got a clue what's going on. They think that they at the office or playing golf somewhere, and they over Keisha's house,
Or they know. I was watching a YouTube movie last night. I forget something about preacher or something. The dad, he was a preacher, and the mom, she was the first lady, and she was raising 2 little boys, and the 2 little brothers, they were supposed to go to the movies. The mom went somewhere, and she said, help the boys with, make sure this one do the homework and make sure the other one do the dishes. And mom left, and he gave the sons $100 for them to go to the movies with their friends. And when the kids left, he had Keisha, whomever the girl was, at the house while the mom was gone, and the boys were supposed to go to the movies. But one of the boys, he forgot something, and he ran back to the house to get his missing thing that he forgot, and he saw his dad cheating. He said, listen, okay, I love your mama, I love our family, but the church, they give us this money so I could tell them that what they want to hear. He said, listen, it's going to be just between you and us. He gave him some money, and that was that. Fast forward, that son took over his dad's church, and that whole thing was going on. The mom, he said to his mom, like, oh, you don't know daddy was cheating on you. He said, listen, whatever your dad did here, I made sure your dad was in your life, and whatever was going on, he provided for us. So the whole moral of the story is she knew what was going on. Yeah. And she said, listen, I got a father for my kids and we live a nice lifestyle. So sometimes, if not all the time, they know.
Well, listen, I tell people this all the time because I was laughing about this because somebody had commented on one of my videos, you don't know what your husband be doing. And I was like, girl, you so right. Nor do I care. I told y'all my 3 rules. Don't bring her to my house. Don't put her in none of my cars. And don't give her none of my money. Would you divorce your husband if you found out he was cheating? For what? No, I wouldn't. But he knows it would be a very costly mistake for him to make. And I think that it would really depend on the level of disrespect. Right. But at the end of the day, it's like, to human is to err. And so a lot of women feel like, child, it's a whole lot of trouble to pack up all this stuff and go on to a new house. I wouldn't recommend that he does anything like that, but can I promise him a divorce if it happens? Probably not, but I could promise him some misery. Right, every single. But yeah, I mean, a lot of women feel that way, especially when people have kids. It's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And now that's not to say that a man should be out there blatantly disrespecting his wife. Right. At the end of the day, that's something you have to think about. You have to think about that type of stuff before you get married, actually. Like, if this happened, what would I do? How would I handle this situation?
Right. That's what makes me go back and forth on marriage, because I say to myself, if I found out my husband is cheating, I'm out. And I say that, I'm a single woman. It's easy for me to say that right now because I'm not, married. But marriage that's a lot of work.
It takes knowing,
yeah. And I'm not willing to put in all that work. Like,
right.
And for me, that's why I say, just because I attend all these workshops and I see and understand and speak with attorneys how crafty it is that they could get about hiding assets and making it so hard for you to get any more asset. If I ever did get married, not only will I be taken care of from the gate, I need a monthly stipend. So if whatever you came in with is what you're going to get, and I'm fine, because I can't wish, hope, and pray that I'm going to have a good enough attorney that's going to get me the millions that Dr. Dre's wife is going to be.
Yeah, well,
once if he ever dies, you don't get no more money or something like that.
I don't know, but you be hiding your assets too. That's how you
make sure. Yeah, the rainy day fund. The rainy day fund.
Yes. It's stressful. It's I just feel like women come in with love, and I just want to be in love, and I just want to feel good. When it's all said and done, you're looking stupid where you get in your butt, you have these kids for your man. People always say, oh, you better have a kid for that man. You better give that man a baby, no matter. And there's postpartum depression, and they don't know about it, and they don't really care about it. It's like, oh, I provide you this stuff. Why are you sad? Why are you not feeling good? They don't know, and they don't care. Everything is on you. So I can't be giving all this stuff and you crying and fighting about me not getting any money when I leave up out of here. No, I need everything from the gate, because you ain't going to take care of, I can't hope, wish, and pray that you're going to take care of me afterwards, or that you're going to do me right. I watched this other movie by Tyler Perry, and he got another girlfriend, and he was like, get out. Like, what's the girl? Oh, I can't remember Kimberly Elise. He's like, he thought that he bought her a wardrobe of clothes, and that was for his new girl. He's like, pushing her out the house. Get out. You know what it was. You can't have no kids. Get out of here.
Well, Diary of a Mad Black Woman.
I need my money from the gate.
It is just, it's important that you stay handling your business.
Like, married for what? I mean, it's cool when it's working, when you have someone that that loves you and cherishes you, and you have a great time with, that you can spend your life with. But when it's not good, it could be you may wish you never got married in the first place.
Yeah. Someone said, let me see. I saw someone said that women cheat more than men. Who said that? I think that might have been Mr. Washington. Yeah, Alfred Washington said women cheat more than men, believe it or not. I
Does
think
he have
men,
statistical data on that? Guys love
yeah,
to say
I,
that.
I know. I would need to see the stats on that. Women do their share of cheating, but I don't know if they do it more than men. I don't know.
Women do, they emotionally cheat. These men be out here just
Yeah,
physically
yeah.
cheat. They be
They
out
just want
here,
to feel good. They want their mind to feel free and such.
they out here hitting everything moving, the men. But women, they'll emotionally cheat. But these men, they go out and cheat. Like I said, they are for the streets.
Why can't a woman cheat, but a man can? Help me understand that logic. Um, I talked about this on D Fair first said funny thing is men can't deal with you cheating on them. They damn near want to commit suicide. Facts. Hashtag big facts. That men cannot, they cannot, and they will not. Yeah, they don't bounce back from that well at all. At all. And sometimes they try to hang in there, but we can move past that time and time again, some of us, but men, they cannot, they don't bounce
I
back.
think it's that maternal instinct. You just want to love and you want to nurture and you just want to bring it back to life and bring it back to health and make everything all right. You know, women always want to make things all right again when guys like, oh, she cheated, next. Bye.
Yeah. All right. So for the ladies, we're gonna get ready to get out of here. We're gonna wrap it up. So for all of my dating ladies, what's one piece of advice that you would give the ladies that are watching tonight about dating? One piece of advice, being out here running around with these brothers. How can they be successful or protect themselves from what's going on out here?
Follow your intuition. Your intuition is not wrong.
Oh, girl. Say it again. Say it louder for the people in the back. Yes.
If you have a roster of dating, I think if you're dating, you should date more than one man at a time.
How many?
Right now, I'm dating 3.
Okay, now let me ask you this. Okay, so are these just like dinner dudes, or y'all like Netflix and chilling? Like if
No, none of that. I'm dating with my legs closed for sure.
Okay, no physical.
Okay. Not at all. No.
Now, let me
like going out to dinner or breakfast on the weekends and going out for drinks. Yeah.
Now, how many times do you go out with a man before he starts asking for the goods? And
before they start talking about all of that other stuff. I don't know. They're pretty respectful. So I don't know. Maybe like 3 months in, something like that.
They don't ask for 3 months.
Most of the time, not for 3. They're pretty respectful. Like it's all about how you carry yourself too. If they know that you're like fast out here in the streets for the streets, then they'll, bring it up sooner. But they're pretty respectful. I don't have a problem with them coming on stronger or me feeling uncomfortable or feeling like they're gonna touching me inappropriately. I don't have that problem.
Yeah. Shauna, what's your best piece of advice for these nice young ladies?
Like I just said to the people in the chat, not to stay once you know that it's over. Basically, like when it's over, it's over. I think a lot of times, like you see the red flags and you think like, maybe I could just wait a little bit longer. Maybe this will get better because you like the person. But kind of like what Unika said about putting yourself first. A lot of times, I know, just speaking for myself, I think more about, well, in the past anyway, I've thought more about the other person than I have about me. And so my advice is to, when you know something's done, like you cut it off and you move on. Because I think when you don't, you block your next blessing because you're hanging on to something that you know it's not there.
Yeah. Keep it moving. Yep. And Unika, what about you?
Last but not least, I say enjoy the journey. I can understand that, some women are just lonely, and once you're raising your child and you're doing your job and you're taking care of the things you need to take care of and you want that companionship. I think that's the whole thing. Is like, I'm lonely, I'm tired of being alone, I want to be alone, I want a man, I want somebody to, go out with and, kick it with and have, walk around with and someone to take me places. But I say when you enjoy the whole journey of, leveling yourself up, whether it's your mind or your abilities or get a hobby or a new skill, do things for you, put
Oh,
your that'll ultimately put yourself out there. And when you're not looking for anyone is where you'll most likely find somebody, or somebody will find you. When
right.
someone say you're not looking for a man, I say, like, I'm looking for a missing sock, like I'm looking for my missing key. Like, I don't look for men. Like, they come to me just because
Right.
I feel like a man has to choose a woman, because they can always come back and say, I never wanted to be with you. You came to me, or,
Yeah.
so a man has to choose me,
Yeah.
because you came over here, you knew what it was with me. You came to see about me, so enjoy the journey, enjoy your singleness, do stuff that fulfills you, that makes you happy. You'll be so in bliss with yourself that somebody great will gravitate towards you when you're not even looking.
Right. I
That's
agree.
right.
Now, but
That's
Jesse, Jesse got me over here tripping because I'm like 3 months. Now, do the three guys know that you're dating other guys?
Yeah, I'm always honest. I'm always honest about that. You have to be honest.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm
What's
like,
what's wrong with 3 months? What's wrong with that?
no, there's nothing wrong with 3 months, but it's just like
Mhm.
I'm just shocked that they're not.
After 2 meals, they're like,
Yeah, because tip.
Wait,
Wait,
can I
we
come to
said
the
start off
crib?
at friends.
Huh,
We said start off at friends first, right? So if you're going out on dates and you guys are talking about life and
Yeah.
like things you did for the day, and if they have a kid, I have a kid, she's 12. If they have a kid,
yeah.
I ask them how, what's going on with their kids. We talk about, that's more to talk about than sex. Like you can talk about
Right.
your job.
No,
Right.
I 100% agree. I just know how most men are. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
but you know what it is too. Oh, I'm sorry to cut you up. I'm so sorry. I just
Oh
have a
no, no,
lot
no.
of words in my
No. I was just gonna say before I forget. Now I'm not saying they're not looking, and you know how man, when a man wants, but they just don't bring it up like that. Like
Yeah,
it's not like the topic. It's not the topic of discussion.
yeah.
Yeah, talk about other things. In work, work, family. So people in the comments, I know y'all are saying, "Oh, 3 months, she's tripping, this and that."
No,
People
I
don't
don't think that
think
she's
that.
tripping at all. I think you're
Yeah.
being right. But men behave in such a way, or they bring, sometimes they have a certain character with certain women. So if they find
Right.
that you're upstanding and you're respecting yourself, then they're not gonna, they're gonna be real tiptoe about bringing it up. But they may
Right.
be like, you're dating other people. There are two other dating other people, and they're gonna get what they could get from the one that they can get it from.
Right.
And
But
you're not gonna
And
get.
but this is my question. If that's the case, if everybody's dating other people and they're being
they are, and I know they are. Yeah, dating other people. Yeah.
so if they're being physical with other people, then how do you get to a point? How do you get past the point of wasting time? Because how can you be building anything of substance if he's over here getting his needs taken care of, with, Trina or whoever, and y'all are just sitting down having coffee together? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Because that friendship starts to build, and you'll start to want to spend time with one person more than the other, and gradually you start spending more time with that person. You spend less time
With
with the other woman, and then gradually,
Yeah.
you talk about being exclusive, and then he cuts everybody off, and it's just you and him. It's like a gradual process, but you got to put in that work to
Yeah,
get to that point.
I can see that side of it.
So how long is it though before they cut everybody else off? Because I think it does, well, maybe you do run the risk of the wasting time thing. Like, how do you ensure that they are cutting everybody else off?
Well, I just started dating, like, COVID and all that happened, and they shut Los Angeles down. So, like 6 months now. Yeah, about 6 or 7 months. So Yeah, I haven't gotten into like cutting people off yet, but
Yeah.
and I
Do
do.
you find
Go
No,
ahead.
what you
Well,
said?
I just wanted to ask, do you feel like you're leaning towards someone a little bit higher than the other?
I was just getting ready to say I like two of the guys more than I like one. So, I mean, and it's not a secret. We're just dating right now. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I see. All right. I was curious about that. I was like, these are some straight up gentlemen, if nothing else.
They are just, you know what? Once you carry yourself a certain type of way, like I'm not going out on a date with my cleavage out and
Girl,
you
I
know,
don't care
Oh,
how
but that doesn't matter.
go,
They'll always
you
try
can go
that.
out on a date in some
You could have been
pajamas,
a
the feet in the
turtleneck.
She said, I
okay?
love you.
Feet and the mittens and everything, you know. Oh, yeah. But no, yeah, I was curious about that. All right, so thank you so much, ladies. Thank you so much for joining me here tonight. So you guys make sure you tune back in next Wednesday. We have a totally different group of ladies that will be joining me on I think it's the first August, the first Wednesday. I'll put up the reminder. This was fun. So we got to get the married men and we got to get the married women on here. So it's good to hear from all sides. So thank you guys so much for joining me here tonight. I didn't say anything about hitting the thumbs up. I hope y'all hit the thumbs up if you were in here watching us tonight. So good night, everyone. Ladies, I'm gonna try to end the live without ending us, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that. So if I do that, come back into the Zoom, okay? Just come back in
Okay.
same link that we're on here on, okay?